components and their interrelationships. Although we have talked a lot about these things earlier, but we are going to get into some of the specifics, like, we have talked about portfolio as a system, common purpose of components, interrelationship among components, parent-child relationship. We have talked about all of these things, but let's see what's new. Okay, as far as the portfolio components are concerned, you tell me, what are the various types of components which could be there in our portfolio?
It'd be the projects, programs, operations mainly, and then the could be sub portfolios, sub programs,
sub portfolio.
Yeah.
Only four things. Sub portfolio, program, project, and operations.
Okay.
4 type of components.
All right.
Okay, tell me, what are the components of a program?
It could be sub programs or projects.
Sub program, project, and there are 3 components: sub program, project, and
could be operations.
Nope. Operations is only in the portfolio.
Oh. Business objective?
No. We talked about that and we discussed something about that. Program activities.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Program. Remember that. Yes, that is the operation of the program, but that is called program activities. So there are 3 components of a program and there are 4 components of portfolio. And tell me, what all are included in a OPM?
That'd be the project, the program, and the portfolio.
The management of all. Project management, program management, portfolio management. There is a 4th thing also.
Operations?
No. They are called organizational enablers. I said that is the glue which binds the project management, program management, and portfolio management. So the 4 entities are there in OPM. And what is a OPM? OPM is a strategy business execution framework, right? We just talked about that.
What was that? Anyway, organizational. That was the last one in the OPM. Organizational
project management. Organizational project management is a strategy business execution framework. OPM is a strategic business execution framework.
Okay.
So this is all available in the slides, but I'm just highlighting those things which are really important. Anyways, we talked about the portfolio. A portfolio system is managed as an integrated whole relative to the other systems of the organization. It is a big system. Portfolio in an organization is a big system, but unlike other systems of the organization, this only deals with change-related initiatives accomplishing the strategic objectives, right? There are operational systems which are producing value. There are, other systems, many other systems in an organization, but portfolio is a system within the organization, which is, as I said, is, kind of for the strategy execution. Portfolio hierarchy results in a parent-child relationship. And you know that. You have portfolio, maybe sub-portfolios under it, a program and sub-programs under it, project and sub-projects under it, and things like that. And operations also, that could be anywhere.
Yeah.
All these standards you have to refer to. A guide to project management body of knowledge, PMBOK, actually includes 2 parts. One is called the standard of project management, and the other is called a guide to a guide and the standard, right? There are 2 things. So I'm referring to the standard for project management, the standard for program management, the standard for portfolio management, and the standard for organizational project management. These are the four things which you need to go through in your own time whenever you free. You can just, there will be a lot of repetition and you would know it, but once you have gone through all these four standards, you will be completely equipped with all the knowledge. Maybe, you may not remember everything. I'm not expecting you to remember everything which I have shown you here on the slides, right? Similarly, you don't need to remember everything. You just need to read things and try to, encapsulate them as much as possible. Do not mug them up. Do not try to remember them, but just try to understand them. And I can bet that in your exam you will have absolutely no problem, right? Because
Great.
those things you have read, they come back to you. They come back to you in your exam.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So there are two types of portfolios. There could be larger portfolios, the top level main portfolios, and the subsidiary portfolios. The larger portfolio can contain subsidiary portfolio. Naturally, they can have subsidiary portfolios under them, which in themselves are component collections. So a subsidiary portfolio could have their own programs, projects, and operations. The subsidiary portfolio can exist for different reasons. For example, they just could be a grouping, like IT projects in one group, and gas projects in one group, and construction projects in one group. So they're just management grouping. Maybe they are orchestrated or they are designed, these portfolios, according to the funding. You say the funding group 1 is one portfolio, funding group 2 is second portfolio, funding group 3 is third portfolio. Yes, of course, from the customer requirement, customer satisfaction portfolio, production portfolio, or something like that. According to the requirements of the customer, you could have your portfolios designed that way. They could be according to the schedule, uh, uh, maybe a January portfolio, February portfolio, March portfolio, maybe resource related. Maybe you can divide the portfolios according to the resources, or according to the stakeholders, or according to different sponsors, or whatever way you want. But that is about the subsidiary portfolio. The larger portfolio is the main portfolio, right? That encompasses everything. All subsidiary portfolios and programs and projects, they all come under the larger portfolio. Program management. Because I expect that you may not be able to go through the standard for program management, the standard for project management. So they have provided a lot of material, relevant material, which you need to know and remember here in this standard. In the portfolio management, they have given the definition and a little bit of detail about program management here. So what is the definition of program management? As you remember, we have already talked about, program management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to a program to meet the program requirements and to obtain benefits. I would underline this, obtain the benefits, because that is the main purpose of a program, obtain the benefits. And control, not available by managing projects individually. If those projects were not part of the program, they could have delivered the deliverables, but what about the benefits? So those benefits cannot be delivered without being in a program. At least they will not be coordinated. Even if somebody else is responsible for each one of those benefits, but you see, that will not be a coordinated effort. This is a coordinated effort, program management. So this involves aligning multiple components that I'm talking about, the components of the program. Remember, components of the program were subprograms, projects, and program activities. So aligning multiple components to achieve program goals. So what are the program goals? There is a overall strategic, there is a overall benefit realization expected, which will fulfill certain strategic objectives, right? Certain, not all, but certain. So program goal is to be achieved and allows for optimized and integrated of the whole program, the costing and scheduling. Yes, of course, you said that these are the benefits that all of these projects within the program can be managed together from the cost, schedule, effort, or other parameters point of view. But you see, that is not the sole purpose of putting those projects together into a program. Program is basically, for the purpose of obtaining the benefit and control, not available by managing those projects individually. Although the benefits of a project often arise after the project ends. So this I'm not saying that this is written in the standard. Every project, whether it is not part of a program, still it delivers benefit, but in a long run, after the project has ended, after that project goes into operation, and then it starts yielding those benefits. And ultimately, one day, those benefits can be realized. And somebody should be responsible for that. If not a program manager, somebody should be responsible for those benefits. Some benefits can appear during the program life cycle as a single project within the program end. So throughout the life of the program, some of the projects will be completed, some benefits would be realized, and they keep getting realized until all the benefits have been realized and all the benefits are consolidated and delivered, and then the program closes. Program is also a temporary endeavor. Program also will have to end one day. Although programs have a very long life, but still they end someday, just like projects. Projects have a short life, but projects do end someday. Programs also. Most of the people do not think that programs do end someday, because a program can be 20 years long, 10 years long, 8 years long. But yes, programs also fulfill their purpose. They deliver their benefits, the overall benefit realization, and then they end. Portfolios never end. Portfolios never end. Components of the program, I have already told you about that. Relationship amongst the projects is only that of a shared client, seller, technology, or resources. If that is the classification, if in a program all the projects are for the same client, or all the projects are for the same seller, or the technology, or the resources, if that is the reason you are calling it a program, you are wrong. This is not a program. This type of classification is the classification for the portfolio. As you remember, I said, we can have for the same client, all the projects for the same client can be grouped into a portfolio, right? So this is the definition of a portfolio, not a program. A program doesn't look like that, right?
Yes.
A program has some benefit realization at the end of it. In program, it is important to integrate and control the interdependencies amongst the components, as if we can, ensure that a roadmap the program has, the benefits are delivered accordingly. And those benefits at the end of the day will contribute to the strategic objectives. Okay, let's talk about the domains of the program. We have the 6 domains we have discussed of the portfolio. These are the domains of the portfolio: strategic management, portfolio governance, portfolio capacity and capacity and capability management, portfolio stakeholder engagement, portfolio value management, and portfolio risk management. These are 6 domains of portfolio management, right? And what are the domains of program management? These are the 5 domains of program management. Just for your knowledge, maybe if there is a question in the exam which refers to that, you must know: strategy alignment, benefit management, stakeholder engagement, governance, and life cycle management. Program has its own governance, right? Although many things are very similar, like stakeholder engagement is very similar to our stakeholder management in the portfolio, but program level stakeholders are engaged in program. We do have strategy management here in portfolio. They have strategy alignment, right? Benefit management is unique to program, and life cycle management, yes, in addition to the 6 domains of portfolio, we have a 7th thing which is not considered as a domain, that is called portfolio life cycle, right? But in case of the program management, program life cycle management is our domain. These are the 5 domains. So you can write this down somewhere. This is important information. Those 6 domains of the portfolio, these 5 domains of the program, just for the reference purposes. Maybe in the exam, some question refers to these things, right? So these are some things which you need to jot down separately. Structured governance framework. As I said, the program has its own governance structure, just like the portfolio had its own governance framework. And if you remember the discussion I had about the governance, I said there might be an organizational governance. Naturally, the policy of the organization is encapsulated into the organizational governance framework. Similarly, we have the portfolio governance. The portfolio will provide governance structure for all its subordinate components, right? Similarly, the program will provide a governance structure for all its components, right? So yes, of course, program has its own governance structure, structured governance functions and domains, structured oversight and governance, where we have planning, control, delivery, transition, and benefit sustainment. I don't want to go into the detail because you're not going for the program management certification. If at all you were, then this was important information. They are not going to ask you, but these are the you know 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 things which are in the structured oversight and governance of the program. Program management provides a framework for managing related efforts considered key factors. What are that? Strategic benefits. You remember, I have emphasized that in program, strategic benefits are benefit delivery, benefit realization is really extremely important. Coordinated planning. Of course, this is a big benefit, a big advantage of doing things in a program. Complex interdependencies can be handled that may create new emergent issues and risks. Deliverable integration, resource pools, and optimized pacing. So there is a mechanism of management within the program where we, resolve issues and risks and integrate various deliverables coming within the program, and resource pools are being established. We control the resources for various projects within the program, and we try to optimize it anyways. So that was a brief introduction about the program management. Let's talk about project management, PMBOK. You have already referred to it. You have already been qualified for PMP. So you remember the definition of project management is the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project activities. Because the component of a project is a project activity, nothing else. Project activities. To meet project requirement, that is a purpose. Why we do those project activities, to meet project requirement by providing the project deliverable. The ultimate output is the project deliverable, right? And normally the benefit is not really part of the project management, but in a way I can say that some short-term benefits can be realized during the life of the project. Short-term benefit, but mostly there are long-term benefits, and they get realized long after the project ends. So it is accomplished through appropriate application and integration of project management processes, which you have also referred to. Those processes identified for the project. But remember, whenever we talk about processes or process groups, remember that is more likely referring to the traditional way of project management, right?
Yes.
You must read through the 7th edition as if you are clear about the agile and hybrid and the traditional, what is the difference and how they interact. But
Right.
whatever you have studied and you have qualified for is no more applicable except for the traditional projects only, right? If
Yeah.
you are assigned an agile project, and probably none of that PMBOK will apply to you. You have to
Yeah.
refer to 7th edition for that.
Yes.
The specific project circumstances may influence the constraints on which the project manager needs to focus. Anyways, managing a project means doing these things: identifying, analyzing, documenting, and prioritizing requirement. Is just a summary and just quickly summarizing what the project management is. So requirements, then addressing various needs, concerns, and expectations of the stakeholders as the project is planned and carried out. Setting and maintaining active communication. So communication is important everywhere. Communication in program, in project, in portfolio, everywhere. Communication, stakeholder is equally important. Balancing competing project constraints, and you remember that there are project scope, time, and cost, and few other uh, you know constraints like resources and risks and all that. Successfully producing and handing over the project delivery. That is all about the project management. Then the relationships, the project management, the relationships among these factors are such that if any one factor changes, at least one or other factor is likely to be affected. I think you remember from your previous experience, if scope changes, it may affect the cost, or it may affect the time, or it may affect the resources, or it may increase the risk. So all these various limitations, which we just referred to, may, affect each other.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I would not like to go into the detail of all these things. Let us
Yeah.
move ahead. A little bit about progressive elaboration. Although progressive elaboration was initially um, introduced for project management, but this applies to program management and to some extent to the portfolio management also. But basically, this concept is more akin to project management, and I hope and I understand you know what progressive elaboration is.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, can you tell me the difference between progressive elaboration and rolling wave planning?
What was the second one?
Rolling wave planning.
Um, I'd say rolling wave planning has more to do with trying to figure out what the next step is, or trying to understand how to get to a solution, where progressive elaboration has more of a circular life cycle. I mean, it's never ending. It continuously iterative because there's no end point.
Don't you think that they are almost the same concept? Progressive
In a way,
elaboration,
yes.
they're same concept. The only difference between progressive elaboration and rolling wave planning is that progressive elaboration is a strategic level concept at the project,
Okay.
whereas uh, rolling wave planning is a tactical level concept. Both means that the things will become clearer in coming future, and then we can plan them. Both means the
Yes.
same thing.
Okay.
But one progressive elaboration is at the strategic level, that the overall project, you say this project can be done in 5 phases, right? 5 phases you can say, but you can't plan more than the first phase. So let us go into the detail of first phase and leave out phase 2, 3, 4, 5 for further planning, right? Because we don't know much details about them. So that is at the strategic level. At the tactical level, when we start identifying the activities within a project, there are certain activities which can be comprehended. There are certain activities we don't know they will be, what could be there. So if there is lack of information at the tactical level, and we don't know specific information about something, we start planning around it, leaving that as a black box, and we can fill in the blanks whenever the information about that becomes available. That is called the rolling wave planning, right? Although this concept is same, but this is at a tactical level, and progressive elaboration is at the strategic level.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So progressive elaboration involves continuously improving and detailing a plan as more detailed and specific information and more accurate estimates become available. Then it comes to the concept which I just defined to you. The traditional project management you have studied is called predictive, right? And then we have got adaptive. And then we have a combination of both. The combination is called hybrid. Adaptive is what we call agile.
Agile.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So progressive elaboration also applies to them, all of them, but specifically in adaptive, we are more easy with it. We say, okay, we don't know what to plan, so we don't plan at all. We don't plan at all. We only plan in very small bits and pieces. We not even plan phase by phase, but we plan in kind of in small brackets of say 1 to 2 weeks only. So let us plan for 2 weeks, do the job, and then we will see what comes next, right? So that is the agile way of doing it. I'm not going into the detail of that. I don't want to explain that in all complete details. But anyways, that is the concept of progressive elaboration is more minutely applied to the agile, and it lends much more flexibility to the agile system. And anything which could be between a predictive or traditional and agile method, that would be called a hybrid, which we are referring here as a combination of both.
Yeah.
Anyways,
right.
So what does it allow? Progressive elaboration, it allows us to navigate and adapt to emergent issues and risks, things are changing, to generate a suitable risk response plan, and to manage to a greater level of detail as the project evolves. So we can, continuously keep planning and improving. So that possibility is there due to the concept of progressive elaboration. Okay, done. Then we come over to the fourth concept, that is operations management, because operation is also the fourth component of the portfolio. So by definition, operation is a business function. This is not something which has to start and end sometime. This is a business function. And as you say, this is something where the value is produced. So these are recurring activities. They are continuously happening activities. They are cyclic activities, and they produce results. Like you are in production, so the production items are being produced. When you keep doing this, items are being produced, right? So the value is delivered. Operation is a business function responsible for planning, coordinating, resourcing, controlling the repeatable, that is recurring, usually cyclic, day-to-day activities of the organization. The business function is called business as usual, BAU. Now, operations management consists of various procedures and their assignments. These include, in operations, although we do delegate and all that in our project work also, but in operations, classically, there are proper lines because there is a standard operating procedure. The governance is much more clearer, much more standardized in operations. So they have got clear lines of delegation, clear lines of authority. They have got clear mechanisms for reporting, escalation, and etc. Because that all is included into a standard operating procedure, which is specific to operations. Standard operating procedure is specific to operations. So operation management is much more organized from that perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, when The ongoing pattern of activity is subject to change by external factors, or when it may be improved by discretionary application of change, then resources within the portfolio are diverted into programs and projects. Now, this is very interesting because operations do not inherently have the capability to bring changes to themselves. Therefore, when the operations are involved in a portfolio, and there is a change required within an operation, those changes are diverted to either the programs or project as if they bring those changes for the operation. Because operation doesn't have any vehicle to bring the change all by itself. Operations are incapable of bringing change. Or in other words, I would say an operation cannot change. Operation itself cannot change.
You need a project to change the operation.
It cannot change. The change can only be brought through project. The smallest unit of change is project. And the second bigger unit is the program. Either change is brought through a project or a program. In an organization, no change can be brought without a project or a program. Projects may be further grouped as programs naturally and into portfolios because of a linkage among any or all of their schedule. Linkage means that they all are from same grouping or same categorization, right? So that, as I said in program management, if things are looking alike, all are white, that doesn't make them a program. That makes them a group or a portfolio or a sub-portfolio or something like that. So if the things are alike, they are grouped together, thus grouping is simply a portfolio, not a program. Okay. Portfolio operation change. I think you can go through this. This is not much of interest to us. Portfolio of operational change of projects links a subset of recurring activities managed as a project with the organization strategy. You can read it out, and you can find something if something is important. But anyways, I don't feel there is anything very important there. Okay, we move on to the role of portfolio manager. Now, this is interesting because it talks about many responsibilities or roles of the portfolio manager. We have got strategic and operational management. We have a holistic view of organization change, integration with the organization strategy and all that. But we are more concerned about the role. Portfolio managers may have the responsibility. Now, this introduction is important to read. But all portfolio managers, as a portfolio manager, I think you personally should be very, concerned about all these points which I'm going to be giving you. This is very important for you as a portfolio manager. So what are your responsibilities? You have the responsibility for the establishment and implementation of portfolio management. So as a portfolio management, you have to create the framework of portfolio management. You have to establish and implement portfolio management, right? Where program and project managers primarily focus on doing the work right? Whatever work is being given to them, they're trying to do it best. The portfolio manager, due to his capabilities of prioritization and selection of various projects and programs, he is deciding what to work, doing the right work, right? I hope you understand that. That is really very important. So portfolio manager doing the right work, right? Not doing the work right. Projects and programs are doing the work right. Whatever work is given to them, they are trying to do it right. But here you have a choice. Portfolio manager decides what to work and what not to work. Doing the right work only, not the wrong work. And we can say the portfolio governance enables the right work. That, the word right work, what has to be done, that comes from the principles established in the portfolio governance. So portfolio governance enables the right work to be performed at the right time and with adequate resources allocated. So portfolio governance is giving you a complete framework that this right work, uh, when it should be done, a roadmap is available, when it should be done, and how much resources are required for that. And as a portfolio manager, you will ensure that all the components get their relevant required resources well in time. A governing body establishes the governance of portfolio programs and projects by setting guidelines for them as well as linking them to the organization strategy. That is the most important thing, that they have to be linked to the organization strategy, because if they are not linked to the organization strategy, what kind of an organization is that? Where the people are working for with no clear objective. Everything should be aligned with the organizational strategy of the organization. And then there should be a mechanism for verifying the overall result, and portfolio does that. Portfolio ensures that whatever has been done right. Furthermore, portfolio managers are responsible for ensuring proper communication and coordination. As you remember, we have emphasized a lot on communication. So communication and coordination is, again, a lot of communication and coordination is portfolio managers' responsibility. What else? Often plays a number of important roles. Now, there are 3 roles defined here, and there is a 4th one also, but primarily there are 3 roles for a portfolio manager. Portfolio manager is an architect. Portfolio manager is an enabler. Portfolio manager is a facilitator. As far as architect is concerned, portfolio manager works with their organization counterparts to evaluate the portfolio management plan, assess and define the needed skills, design appropriate processes, and adjust these processes accordingly. So he is an architect, he designs, he plans, and he does all that. As an enabler, he seeks ways to continually improve the applied portfolio management process, and adjust portfolio components toward better alignment. So he enables for continuous improvement. Rather, as it says, continual relevance to the organization, because we are more concerned about the organizational strategy. Whatever we are doing should remain relevant to the organization. If it is no more relevant, then why should I be enabling it? And as a facilitator, in the execution mode, portfolio manager manage the day-to-day operation of the portfolio management process. So these are the 3 roles. And the 4th role, which will come subsequently, is called the analyst. In some organizations, there, in addition to the portfolio manager, we have a portfolio analyst. Or maybe, portfolio manager is doing that job, but if it is a separate person, that can also be there. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. But the portfolio manager roles also include conveying to the portfolio governing body how the portfolio components as a whole are aligned and realigned with the strategic goal. So you are answerable as a portfolio manager to the governance body. You are answerable all the time how you are doing your work, how you are aligning everything to the strategic goals, and you have to show the results all the time. So in a way, I can say that your boss should be asking you this question in every meeting. This is something which you should be doing all the time. This is your primary duty. Capturing the portfolio impact and value creation against strategic directives, right? I think this is self-explanatory. What is the impact of the portfolio and how much value it has created, right, against the strategic directive? What was assigned to you? How much have you achieved? Providing appropriate recommendations or options for actions wherever required. Influencing and managing the process of resource allocation. Big work, resource allocation, because you, as we said, you are busy all the time managing resources, allocating resources, analyzing situation, prioritizing, and balancing, and things like that. So resource allocation is one of your big responsibilities. Overseeing or coordinating with portfolio component managers on implementation. Receiving information on portfolio component performance and progress, and ultimately reporting portfolio progress to the top management. So these are some of the portfolio manager's responsibilities. Although there is a lot of material here, the portfolio manager reviews the portfolio for balance. Just remember that we did talk about it. You have to balance your portfolio all the time. Then it's a sequence portfolio component, that is prioritization. Then timelines for portfolio management processes are maintained and followed. Managers of portfolio components, that was the first one, was the portfolio manager. The roadmap is created by the portfolio manager. So timelines for the portfolio management processes are maintained and followed. Whereas your subordinates, I mean the portfolio component, the program managers and the project manager and all that, they receive and provide the information required under the portfolio management process. You as a portfolio manager are primarily conduit between the managers of the portfolio component and the portfolio stakeholders. So you would shuttle in between these two entities. Communication, naturally, we understand that, and what kind of communication, deciding when programs and projects should proceed, when they should be deprioritized, when they should be changed to adopt to strategic changes, when they should be terminated, when they should be suspended before the originally planned completion date. So all these decisions are coming from the portfolio manager. So this is very much, and not only that, the decisions are coming, but you are also responsible for regularly communicating these information. Portfolio manager also makes appropriate recommendations to portfolio governance bodies regarding specific directives for components and improvement of portfolio practices toward ensuring that the intended value is delivered to the organization. So our reports have to be submitted to the higher echelons to show that you are consistently, increasing the value of the business, improving or contributing to the intended value. Okay, portfolio manager needs to be aware of how the portfolio is related to the organization vision, mission, and strategic goals. Just go back to that vision, mission diagram and see. You have to go back all the time to that diagram and ensure that you are aligned. Identify, assess, and measure the business value all the time and again. This is something you have to keep doing. That is where you will identify that maybe there is some change in the direction of the organization, and you may have to fix things. So nobody is going to tell you that there has to be a new strategy has come and now you should realign things, but you are supposed to keep an eye yourself on all those things. Throughout the portfolio life cycle, the portfolio manager should be able to manage risks, monitor and prioritize portfolio components, resolve issues that need senior level attention, develop and improve processes, and apply organizational knowledge and management skills. In addition, should be able to effectively manage the organizational resources. Naturally, we talked about the resources and communication and stakeholder. So this one point is about all that. Okay. Classically speaking, these are, as a portfolio manager, lead expert teams. You can lead expert teams and have expertise in all of the following areas, right? You should have expertise in all of these areas. By the way, most of these are the same areas which we have already been talking about: strategic management and alignment. Naturally, this is one of the domains you have. Portfolio management methods and technique. This is not a domain, but naturally all of the methods, techniques, and tools used in the portfolio, the 75 tools which I had mentioned to you earlier, you must be very well aware about them. This is definitely a portfolio manager should know. Stakeholder engagement, naturally, this is a domain also, and we know a lot about it, but naturally, this is the stakeholder level we are talking about. Leadership and management skills. You remember we had grouped the portfolio managers' expertise in these 10 different areas, and there we had many skills mentioned. So leadership and management skills were mentioned there. Risk management we have talked about. Organizational change management, very important, and system thinking. As far as the strategic management alignment is concerned, probably we have talked a lot about it. Portfolio manager should understand and monitor changes in the organizational strategy. As I said, it is the responsibility of project portfolio manager to keep an eye on the changing strategy of the organization and objectives, and be aware of how the portfolio support them. Both financially and non-financial benefits and risks to the organization need to be considered, and so on. Methods and techniques, I think we have mentioned that. Stakeholder leadership. Just look at it. In leadership skills, you have got recruitment and retention, goal setting, performance evaluation, reward and recognition, succession planning, employee development, and so on and so forth. In employee development, you have got mentoring, coaching, motivating, training, and so on. And then we have got risk management. I don't think you need to repeat that, but you see cost benefit analysis, window of opportunity, all those concepts you already understand about risk management. From the point of view of portfolio, you have to be very vigilant about them. Change management is something very important here. So an effective portfolio manager should manage the impact of change on the organization. Change readiness is measured at the portfolio, program, and project level. In each case, the level and range of metrics will be different, depending, for example, on the system, the technology, the stakeholders, the deliverables, the expected benefits, etc. Anyway, now system thinking, I think this is something very important. Do you have any idea what this system thinking thing is? Must have.
Understanding the portfolio components?
Yes, that may apply there as well. Naturally, wherever there are components, an organization has many components, have many parts which work together very effectively. So basically, if I don't remember actually who gave this idea, but I have a book of that person. Let me. I just I'm not able to remember the name of the person, but system thinking was the idea. The whole organization, no matter in how many parts it is divided, in how many components it is divided, all should think alike. Right? They should be capable of understanding each other. Each group should be capable of understanding each other group so well that their thinking is alike, right? Or if at all they have difference in thinking, when they exchange ideas, they adopt ideas from each other and they become one, right? They have the same thinking mechanism. This approach relates to understanding how different components of the portfolio are interrelated and interdependent of one another. So because they are interdependent, they are not enemies, they have to work together. So they have to develop a coordination, some kind of system thinking. It can connote the ability to think through which portfolio components should be selected to contribute to the organization strategy as a top-down approach. Now, this if each group is thinking, is making a decision on its own, then probably there will be many decisions. but there will be no consensus, right? In a there is a very related concern in the same book where system thinking was introduced. There was another concept of um, learning organization. A learning organization is that is just like artificial intelligence. A system of the organization is such that whatever they do, they keep learning out of it as an organization, not as an individual, and there is a consciousness at the organizational level rather than at the individual level, and
Yeah.
that is a kind of a common brain for everyone, and then everyone thinks alike. I don't know if I could convey this idea to you or not,
Yeah.
but
I
system
understand.
thinking is, yes, please.
Yes, I understand.
I remember the name of the book. The book is The Fifth Discipline. The Fifth Discipline.
Okay.
I am not remembering the author, but if you write it in the Google, you will find the book, The Fifth Discipline, and that talks about system thinking, that talks about learning organization, lot many other things, lot many other things. I think this is much better a book than um, uh, Seven Habits of Effective People. I think Seven Habits of Effective People is absolutely nothing in front of the knowledge encapsulated into this book, The Fifth Discipline.
Right.
If I remember the name of the author, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I look it up here. It's Peter Senge.
Peter Senge. Peter Senge. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Wonderful book and a wonderful author. A systems approach may facilitate the proper selection of necessary components to execute the portfolio, aid with proper resource allocation, and ensure that the selected components are aligned toward achieving the business goals of the organization. Now you see, the things have become automatic, and you can, after having talked about so many things, um, all the subsequent slides we have, we we start feeling that thing we know, and we are just kind of doing the repetition or further elaboration of a same concept we already know, right? That is exactly at the level of consciousness I wanted to bring you, because after having gone through all this, now we are comfortable with portfolio management. All the subsequent chapters, you will be very comfortable. It will be very easy for you to understand all the subsequent chapters. This first chapter, that is why, this is the reason why this chapter was so very important for,
Yeah.
for us to explain in so much detail. Why we
Yeah.
went into things word by word, that is the reason. Anyways, there are many other roles beside the portfolio manager or alongside the portfolio manager, which we will see in the portfolio. Like, we have got portfolio sponsors, we have got portfolio governance body. Portfolio manager interacts with all of them. Then we have got the PMOs of the portfolios or programs and projects. Then we have got the portfolio analyst. That was the role I was mentioning to you. That could be a separate person. Then we have got the program managers, we have got the project managers, we have got the change control board, program and project team members are there, they are also stakeholders. And then we have got the subject matter experts, business analysts, functional manager. So these are all the different roles beside the portfolio manager. These are the people with whom the portfolio manager has to interact a lot. Some organizations employ a portfolio analyst. This is what I was mentioning. Some organizations have a separate portfolio analyst who works closely with the portfolio manager and the EPMO. So I would say this is a bridge between the PMO, EPMO. EPMO is not a normal PMO, it is an executive PMO or enterprise PMO. So between the portfolio manager and the EPMO, this could be a conduit, the portfolio analyst. The responsibilities of this, if this person exists, to identify and track interdependencies between portfolio components and facilitate their resolution management at the portfolio level. and identify portfolio management process gaps, recommend improvement, and help implement them.
I'm sorry, the
This role,
EPMO is, you said executive
enterprise,
portfolio
enterprise,
enterprise.
yes, enterprise project management officer. So this role can be combined with other roles, any other role, and tailored to meet the organization needs. So there is no specific, necessity that this role has to be there. Maybe the portfolio manager himself serves as the analyst. Maybe some other role uh, acts like a analyst. Maybe you have analyst. Maybe you don't have analyst. Doesn't matter. But anyways, this is what we need this person to be doing. Further, a number of organizations have a change control board. Then we have got steering committees. We have the project with governance committees. What are they? So change control board that works in practice as a steering committee for project, right? So this change control board is basically the steering committee for the projects. I mean, I'm talking about the projects of the within the portfolio, projects and programs within the portfolio. So the change control board of the portfolio may act as steering committee for the project. In many organizations, splitting responsibilities between project sponsors and the project steering committee and the portfolio governance is an important issue. Now, this we are not really talking about it, but naturally, in small organizations where there are not many people involved, not many stakeholders involved, project sponsor deals with everything. In a little larger organization, we may have a steering committee helping with that. But in very large projects, we may have governance bodies, or for that matter, if we have got a portfolio, the portfolio governance could be there. Okay, very briefly, let us discuss these roles. Sponsor, I think you understand that there is nothing new. Sponsor is a person or group who provides resources or support for the portfolio. So I would say sponsor is anyone who is kind of concerned about, who is kind of a patron to the project, who supports the cause of your initiative or whatever. Sometimes it could be a group, it could be a person. If it is a group, then individual accountabilities should be clearly defined that, okay, this group is sponsored, then there are 5 individuals who are responsible for this group, and these are the accountabilities of each one of these persons. If it is one single sponsor, naturally all the accountabilities will be held by the sponsor himself. The portfolio sponsor usually participates in the portfolio governance body. So basically, it's not the portfolio manager. Portfolio sponsor is like a boss to the portfolio manager, and he is one of the members of the governance body of the portfolio. Again, portfolio governance body is senior to the portfolio manager, right? And in a way, portfolio sponsor is the boss of the portfolio governance body, and naturally other executives would be included in that. Sponsors are accountable for resource allocation and enabling success. Sponsors champion, as I said, they are the patrons, they are the champions. They champion the approval of our portfolio and our portfolio component. So basically, they are the people who allow for the chartering of various projects and programs within the portfolio. And they are also accountable for the ultimate success of the portfolio. At the portfolio level, Spencer is a champion. Once the portfolio component is approved, the sponsor helps the portfolio manager. I mean, sponsor is glued to the portfolio manager all the time. Naturally, he has to take the credit for all the success. So he is involved in every decision making the portfolio manager is taken. So you can take this person as the boss of the portfolio manager, right? So portfolio manager works very closely with this sponsor. Then the governance body, as I already said, is naturally the boss of the portfolio manager, is the head of the portfolio governance body, and other executives are sitting in the portfolio governance body. So portfolio manager is basically reporting to this governance body, and the governance structure for the portfolio is developed by them, the rules and regulations, all that. They may be suggested by the portfolio manager, but they approve. This governance body approves that governance plan, and then based on that governance plan, the portfolio manager then creates the portfolio management plan. All the management plan, no matter it is a program management plan or a project management plan, always is based on the governance plan. So at this level, portfolio governance is being created by this committee, and after this governance plan is approved, that becomes a basis for developing the portfolio management plan, right? So portfolio manager creates that portfolio management plan. Leadership and sponsorship for the portfolio governance body are essential for the portfolio manager. But as I said, portfolio manager is subservient to them and dependent on them. So this body is very important to the portfolio manager. They are the bosses. Portfolio governance body is made up of one or more individuals with the requisite authority, knowledge, and experience to ensure the alignment of portfolio components with the organization strategy. So that's why I said they are the high executive people. I mean, they have got power, they have got understanding, they have got knowledge, they have got authority. So these are the people who basically can sanction things for the portfolio manager. Governance body, yeah, I think we should skip that. Portfolio program and project management office. I suppose you might have heard about it, as we just mentioned, enterprise project management office. There is a concept of a portfolio management office, a program management office, a project management office. Do you understand the difference between these different kinds of management office?
I believe so. I mean, the clearest one would be the project management office, but I say usually the portfolio management office is, I guess in my case at least, is more integrated into the corporate or headquarters that really sponsors all the projects that happen. Yep.
Exactly. But you see, uh, we do not need to confuse a portfolio management office with a project management office. Or if you are running a project management office, you just can't promote it to a program level or to a portfolio level simply because the responsibilities are very different. At a portfolio management office, the management office, the PMO, at the portfolio level, is not going to look at the progress of each project and the program. They will not do that. They will look at it from the interest of the portfolio. The portfolio is interested in other things like organizational strategy, like assessment, all of these things. So this PMO is going to help. That's why we said enterprise PMO. Enterprise PMO is the most suitable one, which is even above the level of the portfolio management office. That is at the level of the enterprise. That is even at the level of the governance body, right? So
Right.
portfolio management office is an office which may not be much concerned about how the programs and projects are being run, but they are more concerned about portfolio level decision making. A program management office is usually, existing within a program to manage all components of the program for easier management of for the program manager. A project management office could be central in an organization for supporting all various projects being run in the organization, or there could be a project management office within a large project also, but that office would be specifically looking after the interest of only that project because that project is too big and too complex, right? But anyways, from the portfolio point of view, we have listed down certain responsibilities and look at these. You can read through them, but generally I'll read out one odd initially. For example, this will help the portfolio manager in identifying, analyzing, coordinating, negotiating, monitoring, and controlling portfolio component, right? Because this is the portfolio management office, so it would be providing help at that level. You know, a PMO, a project management office, how that can help in portfolio management. They don't have knowledge and expertise in that area. Yes, of course, I understand if there is a knowledge and expertise available and the level is portfolio management office that can handle things at the project or program level also, but that should be within the responsibility of that specific management office. So we won't like an enterprise management office to be looking into the minutest details of projects or programs. A portfolio management office, I would classically think that that should provide support for the portfolio responsibilities only. But anyway, I do understand that in most of the organizations, they don't have this differentiation. They just have a PMO and that does everything, right? So we need to correct that a little bit. Maybe we need to educate them a bit more. But yes, a portfolio management office is a very different breed. So developing and
Yeah.
maintaining portfolio program and project frameworks and methodologies, managing knowledge regarding project management discipline, providing, you know what a PMO does. So for whatever is the relevant level, for that level, it establishes the rules and establishes the policies and procedures. It looks at all those things and looks at the interest of all. Then what? Then what? Then we have program managers. Program managers are responsible for ensuring that the overall program structure and program management process align with the portfolio management plan. So we are looking at it, the role of program manager from the perspective of the portfolio manager. So program managers specifically are responsible. They ensure that these processes, that their processes are aligned with portfolio management. Program manager ensures the program delivers the intended benefit, as if, as you understand, program is concerned about benefits only, but those benefits should be aligned with the organizational strategy. That is the responsibility of the portfolio manager. Portfolio management supports the program manager by providing the information needed to make decisions that guide the program by providing administrative support and managing schedule, budget, risk, and other areas required for effective program management. You see, as I said earlier, it is not your responsibility to run the program or to run the project, but you can always mentor them, guide them. So this is what it is saying. Uh, by providing information, not doing their job, information needed to make decisions that guide the program. It's a kind of a mentoring service you are providing. So portfolio manager should not stoop so much down that he starts doing the work of the program manager or the project manager. That is beyond, much below the portfolio manager's responsibilities. So he should be a good mentor. He should be always ready to help, provide support, advice, information, and all that in all matters. But at the same time, don't do their job. This is strictly prohibited. Even in program management, it says program management manager is not a project manager. He shouldn't start doing the project manager's job. Let the project manager do his job and program manager do his own job. A program manager works with the portfolio manager, the portfolio management team, and or the portfolio management office to provide information such as program performance against goals. Whatever goals have been provided, whatever KPIs have been provided, in accordance to that, they provide the program performance to the portfolio. Similarly, we have got project managers. Again, the same kind of responsibilities. Project managers are responsible for effective initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and control, and closing of their project within the portfolio in accordance with corresponding objectives and specifications, and blah, blah, blah. All of that thing, just as you know. But it is the project manager working under the portfolio manager. Okay, I'm done with the matter. Any questions so far? Chapter 1 is
I understand. Yes.
Okay,
I
some
understand.
little very easy questions for you if you do not have any questions. Do you?
No. No
Should I
questions.
proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Some strategy, very simple, small little questions. We'll quickly go through them. There are 7 questions, and I'll show you and I'll seek your answer. What is the primary focus of portfolio management? A. Completing individual projects. B. Aligning projects with organizational strategy. C. Reducing project cost. D. Increasing team size. What do you say?
I'd say B.
Good. B is the correct answer. Portfolio management focuses on selecting, managing, and overseeing projects or programs to achieve specific business objectives, aligning them with the organizational strategy. So, organizational strategy is the key. Alignment to organizational strategy, that is a key role. So, you must always remember that. Second question. Portfolio management is often compared to the role of A. A team leader, B. A ship's captain, C. A project manager, D. A CEO.
B, once again.
Very good. A ship's captain. Portfolio management is like being the captain of a ship navigating through a vast ocean of business opportunities and challenges, ensuring the selection of the most valuable routes and cargo, projects and programs strategy. Third question. What is the key role of portfolio management in organization? Number alpha, micromanaging projects. B, focusing only on short-term gains. C, reducing the number of projects. D, ensuring strategic alignment.
Say D, the strategic alignment.
Okay. You see, I have, you are right. I have strictly prohibited of micromanagement, whether it is program management or portfolio management. You should not micromanage, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
A can never be right. And B and C are also not right. So D is the right answer. Portfolio management ensures that an organization strategy is translated into actionable projects and programs, aligning them with strategic goals. Question number 4. Portfolio management optimizes A. Individual performance. B. Short-term profit. C. Resource allocation across projects. D. Project methodologies.
I'm going to say it's between C and D, so I'm going to say C.
C. You see, why not D? It says project methodology. How
It has
does
nothing to do with the
optimize
project methodologies. That's
methodology?
right.
D cannot be correct. So a crucial role of portfolio management is the efficient allocation of resources, time, money, people across various projects. Question number 5. Which of the following is a key responsibility of a portfolio manager? A. Detailed project planning. B. Strategic decision making. C. Direct team management. D. Technical project execution.
I'll say B, strategic decision making.
B is the only correct answer. Portfolio managers are responsible for strategic decision making, including deciding which projects or programs to start, continue, or stop. Question number 6. Portfolio manager acts as a bridge between whom? A. Different project teams. B. Project teams and top management. C. Competing projects. D. External stakeholders.
I'm going to say B.
Yeah, B, but this was a very tricky question. B is the correct answer because
that was less
it
clear
is
to
a
me,
bridge
but yeah, B.
upwards and downwards. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, we are done with the questions. So before we leave, these are the 3 questions for you. In whole of this today's session, what are the 2 points that stood out for you?
It's funny. So this session, I have clarity on my confusion. Let me put it that way. So here's my challenge. My specific title, my title is Senior Project Manager Engineering. My role in the organization, so that's my title, Senior Project Manager. My role in the org chart, when things get sent to me, I am portfolio manager in the org chart. And I have project managers who report to me, and I report to the director of engineering, the director of engineering. And so the thing that stood out to me definitely the most is that I have confusion when in my head on when I'm doing a certain task, which hat I have, because I have both roles. And so I need to clarify. It is very clear to me that I need to clarify within my actions which role I am filling when I'm doing a certain task, because unlike somebody who has the clear role of portfolio manager, I indeed have both. And so I have to clarify, in certain roles, I'm doing one, and in certain tasks, I'm doing another. And I'm probably right now not doing enough in the portfolio manager role. That's clear to me right now, that I have a lot more to implement, because I would say the definition of a portfolio manager is not clear in my organization, where it's probably defined as, in the org chart, I'm defined as a portfolio manager because I am over a lot of these projects and I have a lot of project managers reporting to me. But I don't think that's the role that's defined in the practices that are expected of me. However, what stands out is that in order for me to achieve the next level, I need to implement the portfolio management processes more than I am right now.
Actually, this is not only your problem. This is the problem with most of the organizations. They have yet to embrace the role of portfolio manager.
Yeah.
They don't want to give a big name to a person. They'll promote you to the level of senior project manager. Why couldn't they promote you to the level of a program manager or a portfolio manager? What is the problem?
Well,
Because they
because
don't
we don't
understand. Yeah.
have it. So if we talk about levels, we don't have a level, a title. When we talk about titles, we don't have a title of anyone in our organization that is portfolio manager. The title for us goes from engineering, project engineer, to project manager, to project manager level 2, to director. I mean, that's the jump. It's project
That's the jump.
manager to senior project manager to director. So the portfolio manager is not in our titles or in our levels. So when I say that's my title because that's my level and that's my role. However, when we look at the org chart we have for our floor says we have it's a bit of a matrix. So we have execution and a support. So we have subject matter experts, we have engineering managers, we have project managers, and the project managers report to me. And my title on an organization chart is portfolio manager. So even within our project managers have different levels. So I have on the org chart, they all show up as project managers, but even within my project managers, their titles differ from senior project engineer to project manager to senior project manager. But on the org chart, they are project managers simply because they manage each project. And they roll up to me as portfolio manager because I am responsible for all the decisions that get made over all the projects and all the programs within that portfolio. And so from that perspective, from the org chart, I am portfolio manager, but by definition, that is not the exact definition of a portfolio manager. What I
Okay.
believe the definition of the portfolio manager is really my director, because he is directing the floor of portfolios. So really, and that's why I say when it's confusing, I am clear. Well, I say I'm clear as I've started to look at this PfMP material, in January. I am clear on what the role on a portfolio manager is, but as I take that and I look at what I'm doing, what I'm supposed to be doing, the next level that I'm trying to get at, that's really what the portfolio manager definition is. So that's why I say when it's
Mm.
confusing, I'm clear on the delineation of the roles, but the confusing part is when I say, what am I doing great and what am I not doing as great? It deals with the fact that my title is both. I am both senior project manager and I am both portfolio manager. And so I need to be more, I 100% need to be more strategic in the task that I'm doing. And when I'm doing this task, that is this role versus when I do that task, it is that role. And that's where there's too much, I say right now, there's too much overlap between those, and they are not one role. They're two distinct roles that I'm doing both. I just need to delineate the task to say it's not my role as I do a daily and a weekly task that's my encompassing role. No, it's got to be consistent with this or consistent with that. I need to do both, but I'm not doing both at the same time. That's what I need to do. That's what I need to understand more. I'm not doing both at the same time. This task contributes to supporting the senior project management role, or it contributes to supporting the portfolio manager role. That's what I got to do both.
I think this discussion answered all of these three questions.
Yeah, that's the first two, and that's the first. That's the third one also. implementing different things. Yeah, I agree.
But anyways, these are the three questions you should, at every interval you should answer these questions, maybe to yourself, and that will serve to improve your way of working in the next session. So
Yes.
we are now going to be meeting on the next Sunday, same time, and we will start with chapter number 2. This is going to be portfolio life cycle we are going to start. So anything you need to talk about before we can break off?
Yeah, actually, I do have a question. So I do some traveling from the 27th of June until the 14th, let's say, of July. Is there any way, and ideally I'd like to wrap up the sessions before I leave. Is there a way to add a session before the 30th of June? Because I won't be able to make that session.
What is the next date of the next session?
The next session is on the 16th. So we go 9, 16, 23, and 30.
Okay. So you want which session to change?
If it's possible to move up the 30th session, that would be great. If not, we'd have to postpone it. But just for my progression and studying and learning, it'd be great if I could wrap it up before the trip. But I know that it's a long session, but just.
Which day suits you?
I'm open. I know the time difference. It's Monday right now for you, I believe, or Sunday night.
Monday, yeah, no problem.
It's Monday for you right now? It's Monday right now for you. Is that correct?
No, it's not yet Monday. 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, it will be Monday.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'm also free on the the 15th or the 22nd. If we could, I know that'd be almost a full weekend.
Let me have a look at the calendar.
Or if it had to be a Friday, I could check my schedule. If I may be available on the 14th or the 21st, if that's available, I can check my schedule.
You are saying on 30th you don't want to attend. We can do it on What about Friday 21st?
Yeah, let me check. That'll work. That'll be available. So if we can do 16, 21, and
23.
I'm sorry, 9. Oh, today's 9. Sorry.
If you
16,
want to, if you
21,
want to
23.
put a little
Yes.
gap in it, let's make it 20th, Thursday. So 16, 20, 23.
21 is a little better.
Yeah,
if we can do 21.
20, 21 is better? Okay. 16,
Yes.
21, 23.
Yes, that'd be great.
That'd be great. Good.
Okay, great.
So just inform Dr. Faz that the class which was on supposed to be on 30th is to be shifted to 21st.
Okay.
Right?
Dr. Fat, let me see if I have that.
I'll also tell him.
Faz. Okay, I understand. Yeah, I see the name. Faz Razul.
Faz at pmtrainingschool.com.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Just leave him a message.
Great.
And I will talk to him.
Okay, I think that's the main thing. That would wrap up the 4 sessions before the 27th. So that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be better. That'd be much better.
Okay, that just give me a clear delineation switching to the next step instead of having a 2 to 3 week gap and then doing the last session. And so yeah.
I will ask you to give yourself some time to prepare very thoroughly. This lecture, these sessions are okay, but you need to give yourself a lot of time before sitting in the exam, because this is a tough exam. I believe you will pass in the first attempt, and definitely you will pass. But there is a high likelihood that if you are not really very well prepared, you may not, right? So you don't want to take any chances. To be very thorough and prepare very well and clear this in first attempt. That would be great, and we'll celebrate.
Definitely, hopefully. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. It was a very nice session. I don't know, I had been talking and you were just on the listening end most of the time, but it was really nice talking to you, and I suppose next session will be even better.
Yeah, I definitely learned a lot in this session, so I appreciate it.
Thank you and take care. Bye-bye.